where the fund. So this is a very dangerous flywheel. No questions about that, right? Because what he's doing is playing with fire, and it is clearly evident that the cost of capital is becoming more and more expensive for him.
रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे बाप होते हैं.
So one thing that people sort of alluded to was the dividend overhang, right? Which effectively is there on the STRK, STRE, and the other products that they've sort of come up with, which is basically preferred stock that they've issued, right? MSTR is a game of value accretion, right? It is, I mean, we've seen this in crypto. I mean, if someone remembers Olympus DAO, it was pretty much the same model what MSTR sort of functions on. तो वो लोग क्या करते हैं, if you have let's say Bitcoin is trading at $100 for example, right? Price of one BTC is $100, and MSTR is effectively holding BTC, and MSTR price is also $100. So technically for one MSTR you have one BTC backing, because MSTR का price भी $100 है, MSTR के shares भी one ही है, right? And BTC भी one है, because MSTR has to hold 1:1 का value, right? That's the whole play. अब होता क्या है कि because MSTR is more accessible than ETFs, right, or had been for a very, very long time, people were happily paying a premium on MSTR in order to get BTC exposure, right? I'll sort of start by summarizing what Crypto Daddy and Narcodia have already said, right, just to set up the base on what that is all about, or what the FUD is all about right now. So now let's say because people were paying that higher price, for example, पहले क्या होता था, हम लोग जैसे होता नहीं था कि हम लोग एक meme token खरीदने के लिए, because we know we are going to make 10x on it, we would even end up paying $100 in gas fees. फर्क नहीं पड़ता था, 10% भी gas fees में देते थे हम लोग, because हमको तो पता है यार, हमको तो 10 गुना कमाना है इसमें, right? So we never sort of bothered paying that additional tax. I mean, as tax in the form of transaction revenue. At times, I remember we've also paid double. Like अगर $100 का ticket size है, $200 भी pay कर दिया हम लोगों ने, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, allocation मिल जाएगी. हमें तो $1,000 बनाने, मैं $100 डाल के $900 कमाने वाला था, $100 गैस में चले गए, कोई बात नहीं, 800 कमा लूंगा. It is still money, right? Because that is the potential upside. Which is why historically we saw that maybe an MSTR was trading at 2x the value also at times, right? तो होता क्या था कि अब देखो MSTR का शेयर है बाजार में 1, ठीक है, MSTR का प्राइस चल रहा है $200, BTC का प्राइस चल रहा है $100, MSTR के पास एक BTC है, टेक्निकली अभी उनके पास एक डबल का प्रीमियम, 2x का प्रीमियम चल रहा है उनके NAV के बेसिस पे. तो what will MSTR do in this particular case? The first thing that MSTR started doing before it started raising money on debt, right? The first base thing that it did was, अरे $200 का प्राइस चल रहा है MSTR का, शेयर तो एक ही है, BTC भी एक है मेरे पास, BTC का प्राइस भी $100 है. Let me do one thing. Let me issue additional MSTR shares, right? So what I will then do is I will issue one more MSTR share, just one more, and I'll sell it in the open market, right? मैं जब ओपन मार्केट में बेचूंगा, मेरे को $200 मिल गए उसके, ठीक है? उस $200 से मैंने क्या किया, 2 BTC और खरीद लिया मैंने, बिकॉज मेरा थीसिस ही यही है, मैं सिर्फ BTC खरीद सकता हूँ, ठीक है? मेरे को जितना से ज्यादा BTC चाहिए. तो अब मैंने वो $200 से BTC खरीद लिया. BTC का प्राइस कितना चल रहा है, $100. मेरे पास 2 BTC आ गए. अब इफेक्टिवली मेरे पास कितने BTC हो गए, 3 BTC हो गए. पहले एक था, अब 2 और खरीद लिए. मेरे शेयर्स कितने हैं, पहले मेरा प्रीमियम 2x था, मेरे अभी शेयर्स कितने हैं MSTR के, 2 शेयर हैं. BTC कितने हैं, 3.
yes,
ठीक है. I have what I have effectively done is, पहले मेरा अगर valuation premium 2x था, वो valuation premium अभी 1.5x के करीब आ गया.
1.5.
I am still above, on a premium basis, I am still above my net asset value. This is called the process of accretion. तो पहले ये लोग ये करते थे, they used to just keep on issuing, so the price would trade above, they would just issue more stock, sell it in the open market, get more premium, buy more BTC with it, unless or until the price comes close to 1 NAV, right? जब 1 NAV पे आ जाएगी, ये कर नहीं सकते, because then you will be trading at a discount. Nobody wants that, right? Your short shareholders will lose confidence. So then what he thought of doing was, let me do another thing. He then went ahead and started raising convertible bonds, right? This is the second thing that Michael Saylor did, right? अब convertible bonds में वो क्या करता था, convertible bonds में he would go and say that, you know what, I will give you a convertibility factor. So whatever money that I'm raising from you, and these are set to mature in 2028, 2029, right? Long-term mature bonds लिए थे इसने. He then gave the option to the creditors saying that भैया तुम मेरे को पैसा दो, right? I will use this to go and buy BTC, right? Now if I go and buy BTC, right? मेरा BTC का quantity बढ़े जा रहा है, मेरा NAV expand हो जा रहा है, I can go and issue more of my sort of shares because उस केस में मेरे को शेयर तो भी इशू नहीं करना पड़ रहा, मैंने बस अभी बॉन्ड इशू किया. This bond is convertible for MSTR, right? Should you choose to, and when will a creditor convert it to MSTR? Provided the price of MSTR is trading way above the actual NAV price, the creditor will say, मैंने तेरे को 100 रुपए उधार में दिए थे, तू पैसे मत दे, मेरे को स्टॉक दे दे, मैं स्टॉक बेच के पैसे कमा लूंगा अपने, right? Or the other cases, if the price is trading below NAV, the creditor can say, you know what, pay me back my paisa, I don't want to convert it to MSTR, you pay me back my principal money, right? ये करके he raised roughly about $8 billion, right? And this is, and to be honest, $8 billion is still a drop in the ocean when it comes to the asset size that he's holding, right?
Yeah.
Next, तो अब इससे उसका मन भर गया, and इसमें ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट नहीं देता था वो, इसमें उसका इंटरेस्ट is very very low. His interest was 0.5% per year, which is negligible because he's giving a convertibility option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's not
which
cash,
is why he's not giving much interest, right?
Yeah.
Then came his preferred stock. उसने बोला यार इससे मेरा पेट भर गया, अब मैं कुछ नया करके देखता हूँ. He's like a DeFi scientist, right? As we call it.
Yeah.
He's coming up with these flywheels. So what did he do next? He then, something that Narkoti was talking about, and he explained that very, very well, so I won't go into much detail. So he then issued these preferred stocks like STRK and जो भी STRC, जो भी उसने मतलब अलग-अलग strike, stretch, कुछ तो नाम नूम थे उनके. He then started issuing them. उसके अंदर उसने क्या किया, उसने बोला इसमें मैं तुम्हें, this is direct stock, right? There is no principal or whatever here. He's directly issued stock, and he's then told them that, you know what, you buy for this stock, I will pay you a fixed dividend payout every year. Now, in this case, because obviously capital was becoming a little difficult for him to raise, because this looks like a desperate move, because earlier he was getting capital at 0.1%. This time he's raised capital, which is preferred stock, at 10%, 8%, the figures that Narkoti mentioned, right? Clearly because ETFs came about. जब ETFs आ गए, इसकी लग गई, because इसके product का वो edge चला गया. So which is why cost of capital for him became very, very expensive, which is very evident by the fact that he sort of issued these preferred stock units, not options. अब इसमें क्या है कि the dividend payout is something that he has to pay out, right? तो common stockholders जो है, जो MSTR के common stockholders है, उनको dividend तब मिलता है अगर he decides to give, like if the board decides to issue dividend. इसमें compulsory dividend जाता है आपका, right? And the overall, and इसमें भी I roughly feel he raised about $7 billion from this also, right? And 10% annual yield के हिसाब से $700 million का इसका payout बनता है, इसका which has to be paid out every quarter, right? So has to be paid out every quarter. कुछ का I think monthly है, मेरे को पता नहीं, but this is what he has to pay out. So $700 million is what he needs to pay out on a yearly basis. So divide that by roughly 4, you're looking at way around $125 million, I think. Yeah, sorry, 125 maybe, yeah, right? I think वही 150 if you're looking at that 700.
175, yeah.
175 every quarter, right, is what he has to pay out. Now the problem, and this is also another, like I mentioned, roughly about $7 billion, right? $7.5 billion. This is what's an immediate overhang, right? Because this is not principal that he needs to pay back, right? The only way he can get rid of this debt, right? So in his bonds that he had bought, right, or sorry, that he had issued, उसमें क्या है कि the seller can, so the creditor can say कि भाई मेरे को अभी मेरा principal वापस चाहिए. If say for a very long period of time it's trading below par value, MSTR के पास भी एक call option है कि वो बोल सकता है I'm calling back my bond, ठीक है, मैं तुम्हारे पैसे भी वापस कर रहा हूँ before maturity date also, if he feels that the price is trading above premium, because what he will do, he will simply issue more stocks, sell it in the open market, garner that premium. जब तक MSTR is trading above 1 NAV, that is pure play profit for Mr. Michael Saylor. I think the current effective DAM of MSTR, I don't know what the figure is. I think the NAV right now is 1.2. 20% is pure profit for them, right?
अब ऊपर चले गए वापस. अभी तो देख,
I think it's 1.2 जितना मैंने last देखा था. So
नहीं, 1.2 से 1.25, 1.3 होगा, because पिछले साल they were trading between 2.5 to 3, and this year they dropped to
1.18 पे अभी.
1.18 पे, right? 1.2 सही है.
Correct. So anyway, so now comes the point that where the FUD. So this is a very dangerous flywheel no questions about that, right? Because what he's doing is playing with fire. And it is clearly evident that the cost of capital is becoming more and more expensive for him, right? Because the flywheel keeps on running as and when the price of BTC keeps on moving up. With वो जितना BTC खरीदेगा उतना प्राइस ऊपर जाएगा, प्रीमियम जितना रहेगा उतना और स्टॉक बेच पाएगा, वो अपने खर्चे पूरे कर पाएगा, because his software business is a negative cash flow business anyway, right? So it's not that he's generating much cash there.